This is purple. While in the third stimulus package there's money for rent, mortgage assistance, and more, ultimately my message to viewers is don't wait till then because I can get you money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, and not 5 months from now. If you need rent assistance, food, or utility assistance right now, this is the video to watch. And thank you for joining me on Evenings Late. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Becoming a member is very important because in the next few days, we're going to actually see the third stimulus package bill. And in there, we'll understand what are the items you can apply for because nothing is automatic under the third stimulus package bill, with the exception of the check and the child care check. And with that, let's get to the details right off the bat. It's important to understand that there's enough money out there for rent and utilities right now and food that you don't need to wait for the third stimulus package. And while the third stimulus package has restrictions on rent, like you have to be behind on rent, that's not necessarily the case under what I'm about to go over with you. Under the current situation is the following. There is available rent because of the first stimulus package, the second stimulus package, and the nonprofits. I'm going to go over the first two together, and then I'll do the nonprofits. The way you find rent currently is the following. You're going to contact 6 different groups to start. You're going to go to your state housing authority, your state offices, then your county housing authority, your county offices, county hall, and then your city housing authority and your city housing, your city hall. You're going to ask for rent assistance because of COVID. Those are the 6 you're going to go to. If you get a no at any step, just go to the next one because ultimately you'll find it somewhere there. Cities, counties, and states were given $300 billion under the first and second stimulus packages now combined at least, and so they have far more than enough money to provide you for rent. Next, you also want to do the following with the utilities company. So reach out to electric and water and heating and oil and gas and say the same thing. Do you have any help? Do you have any assistance because of COVID? Do you have any utility assistance because of COVID? Don't add any words to it. Do you have any help for cows that stay at the casino on after hours on Tuesday night for rent? No, don't don't add those extra words. Do you have any rent? Do you have any assistance with utilities when I tip over a cow and knock out the power? No, don't say that. Don't say that. Make it very simple. Do you have any assistance because of rent? Do you have any assistance from utilities? Do you have any assistance for rent because of COVID? Do you have any assistance for utilities because of COVID? That's it. Now, if you've done that and you're still having some confusion or difficulties, then reach out to the nonprofits. If you're watching this video, it's a lot of information, it's going too fast. Don't worry, get a pen and paper and you can rewind this video slowly on the bottom link. I'll have an update for you also later in this video. The nonprofits that are helping with rent and utilities are the following: United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, St. Vincent de Paul, and Catholic Charities. I'll say that again. United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, and St. Vincent de Paul. If you've done those 6 steps, you've reached out to the state, city, and county, you reached out to the nonprofits, that additional step, and you still don't see something, then reach out to the volunteers. The volunteers link is at the top of this chat. It's also in the description of this video, and it's also in the pinned comment. They're at news.la.com/community. That's news.la.com/community. They're separated from Twitter, from Facebook, and Instagram. Send them a message and indicate what city and state you're from, and give it about a day or two, and then they'll respond back to you. They can also help you with mortgage assistance. They can also help you with questions about food, and I'm going to go over food right now. If you make less than $49,000 a year, you can get on SNAP. What is SNAP? It's not the food delivered to you. So Lauren be like, is that ice cream? I'd like to just, can I just get ice cream all day long? No, it is not ice cream. But we're cows, we need ice cream. No, it is not ice cream, Sir Lloyd. It is money for ice cream. Well, money for food. It is money for food. The money from food for SNAP calculates as the following. It's about $1,400 if you're a family of four in Hawaii. People always ask, why are you talking about Hawaii all the time? Because it's the example I use. And just, I chose a state, and that's the state I chose. $1,400 for a family of four out of Hawaii. And under the Biden stimulus and Trump stimulus, it's increased for 15% for 1 year to December. That's item number one. Number two, if you have a child that is 6 years or younger, they are now included on SNAP for the first time ever. That's that's that item. Then they're also retroactive to August, and they get an increase of 15%. Finally, if you have a child staying home from the school because the school is closed because of COVID, then that child, you have to pay, you have to cook food for them. You have to call up SNAP and ask for PBET. That's PBET. Number one, under Biden's executive orders, it is now a national program. It wasn't before. Number two, it is now increased 15%. And so finally, thank you, Danny Kitchen, for the dancing pear. I really appreciate it. And there's something right before Danny Kitchen. And now it's Sally. Thank you, L8. Lots of love for all you do. Well, I appreciate that, Sally. Whoa! I almost knocked over the camera. As you know, we're on a temporary set as we prepare for the new L8. Thank you, Danny Kitchen, and thank you, Sally. I appreciate it. If you're wondering why the camera angle's sort of unusual and the lighting's sort of strange, that's because we're on a temporary set as we prepare for the new LLA. It is PBET. Is it PEBT? Am I reversing things? I'm reversing camera angles and reversing lights. I would not be surprised if I'm reversing letters tonight. Uh, it's not automatic. PEBT. There we go. Reversing things. BEBT. You have to call up Department of Agriculture and ask for it. And there's a 15% increase. So it could be up to, while maybe normally $134 for a child, it could be $154 now per child. There you go. Now that we've covered rent and food, well, let's go over to the volunteers. The volunteers are in the pinned comment to this video and also the top of the chat. They're on Twitter, they're on Facebook, and they're on Instagram. They're separated from discipline. Hey, Tracy, how are you with the Dime Lemon? The volunteers, thank you for the dancing pear. The volunteers are viewers like you. They assist people across the entire country. They are not set to one particular city. They know a lot more than I know about things that have gone out. They can help you with rent. They can help you with food. They can help you with utilities. They can help you with mortgage assistance. They can help you with the free internet, especially the Twitter ones. They can help you with a lot of things. They can't do an application for you for EIDL. They can't get you on the guest list at the Casino VIP room. Uh, and then if it's something that I don't cover on this channel, then they probably can't do that either. I've had some people say, is there any stimulus to fix my roof? Is there any stimulus to fix my car? No, there isn't anything like that. But they can certainly find a lot of other great stuff for you. The day started with unemployment numbers, and those unemployment numbers were not good. They came in at 861,000. Dow was expecting 773. This marked the highest level in a month. Now, ultimately, this means a lot for your stimulus because this means if the unemployment number is not good, that more stimulus will be offered. The number of recurring claims that people still on unemployment fell to 18.34 million from 20 million. Fell about 1.5 million. And the long-term unemployment numbers stayed around 4.5 million. We're still at the mercy of the virus, and so it's a bifurcated economy, said Liz Ann Saunders, Chief Investment Strategist at Charles Schwab. The reason why this number is important is because the long-term unemployment number determines your stimulus checks. Now, the next, while we're on stimulus checks, let me cut to those missing stimulus checks. The first missing stimulus check and that second missing stimulus check. If you're missing any of those stimulus checks, I want you to understand this is how you do it. So you need to file the tax return for 2020, the current tax return, and on there claim those missing stimulus check or checks. It's very simple to do. Now, either you can go to an online tax preparer or you can go to irs.gov and they have a form for you to do it on there for free. Hey, Angela, thank you for becoming a Purple Hawk. Everyone, welcome Angela to the family. How are you? Everyone else, welcome Angela to the family. The way you request those missing stimulus checks is by tax return. Cheryl, thank you for the dancing bear. I really appreciate it. The way you request those missing stimulus checks is by tax return. There is no other way to request the missing stimulus checks. And we've now had not one, but 3 viewers who have done it in the last 2 days, and they got paid $1,800 in 24 hours. A few things that you wouldn't understand are: one, if you don't have to normally file a tax return, doesn't mean you can't voluntarily file a tax return. If you're on an SSI and SSDI and don't have to file a tax return, you still can voluntarily file a tax return to get those missing stimulus checks. That's the first thing. Second thing is that if you're missing stimulus checks, the non-filer filing won't help you. The non-filer filing is not a way to request missing stimulus checks. So I think what's very good here is that a lot of viewers are finally realizing that if they don't have the stimulus check of the first round, the $1,200, or the second round, the $600, they need to file the tax return. They need to file that tax return. And on that respective line, there is a line that says, I want my stimulus check, and they send it out. It's that easy. Oh, you want to laugh? It's a laugh. Here's a laugh. A group called the Morning Consult. Oh, I missed that. Who was that? That was Patricia. Well, thank you, Patricia, for the dancing bear. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Patricia, for the dancing bear. Pair alert. So pairs, what do you think about this? There was a new report by Morning Consult today that was quite a laugh a minute. Morning Consult prepared a new report. And they said that the $1,400 stimulus check will help for your bills between now and April. Excuse me, now and July. Your bills between now and July. Excuse me. July of 1920? Is this July of this year or July of 1920? The report claimed that the $1,400 stimulus check coupled with unemployment benefits will help you get caught up of all your bills between now and July. Yeah, maybe if you're in 1920. You can see my reflection. Hi, how are you? You can see my reflection in the window. Yeah, I don't know what that means. How can you get caught up on your bills with a $1,400 stimulus check? Yeah, that's very inventive. Meantime, the President of the United States started the day with another new bill. And the new bill is a path for citizenship. This is great news. The bill provides an 8-year path for undocumented people to become U.S. citizens. And this is how it works. If you've been in this country since January 1st, then you would have 5 years of provisional status. After 5 years, you can get a green card. Then 3 years later, you can apply for citizenship. This is great news. So basically 8 years. Now, will the bill pass? Well, it requires 10 Republican votes to defeat a Senate filibuster. So they don't know if that will pass. Lindsey Graham, who's a big supporter of immigration legislation, said that he's excited about this because it starts the conversation at least. The more you legalize, the more that will be required to be given. So we'll see. It'll start a conversation. You can't legalize one group without addressing the underlying broken immigration system. You're in an incentive program, so a smaller deal may be possible. And ultimately, that really is sort of the narrative. The small, getting immigration discussed is a narrative going forward. With 15 minutes on the clock, oh, I did not bring some of your comments and questions. So let me answer some of your questions and comments from today's recordings. If you have questions about first stimulus, second stimulus, or third stimulus, drop them on the air. Drop them on the screen and I'll answer. Screen. I said screen, not scream. Don't scream the comments. Buffet in the Calcina. There is a buffet in the Calcina. It's wonderful. It's all milk. It's all milk. Yes, yes. That's why it's the Calcino. Milk and cream and milk and cream, and it gets a little boring after a while. Just a lot of milk. It's amusing. Can a person receive resistance if they're not behind? Assistance. I think that's spell check. Can a person receive assistance if they're not behind? They can on from the volunteers, and they can under the packages from tonight, but they cannot under the third stimulus package. You look like you're losing weight. No, it's called better camera angle. That's what the Kardashians teach you. Better camera angle. The camera's higher. Last night the camera was below me, like down here. Tonight it's way up here. So if you look up, it just stretches everything out. When you're down here, then people drop in the comments like they did last night. You have big bags under your eyes. Go to bed. That's the benefit of a camera angle. It's also lighter lighting because there's a lot. I kill a lot of the lighting in here at the moment tonight. So, and it's actually working. Maybe I will stay with this because the lighting is actually working. So there you go. Hope your pain is over. I appreciate that. Um, I only pay $450 of rent. I couldn't see what that said. Do you know if they're opening the non-filer filing to update the checking account? No. I don't think they are. Nancy. Well, let me, that's a hard question. Thank you, Nancy, for the dancing parent. The PDFs you have, one of them said in there that they are instructing Treasury to open it up again. But I presume that the way you get the stimulus checks correctly is by updating your information on the tax return. So they're using the tax return as the way you get paid. So for example, if you want your check by paper check, then filing the tax return is the way to get that check. If you get your check by debit card, it should be by direct deposit, then they're going to go off of the banking information on your tax return. Let me give another example. Hey, Mary, thank you for, oh wow, Purple Power. Everyone welcome Mary to the family. This is a really good question someone's just asked. Everyone welcome Mary to the family, Purple Power. If you got your checks, but you wanted to get them by direct deposit, but you got them by paper, well, when you do your tax return, then provide your direct deposit information. If you did not get your stimulus checks and you request them, I've not seen the form yet, but perhaps there is a way to request it by debit, by electronic receipt. I believe there is, but I have not seen it for certain. So that's a great question. Any other questions? And one last thing I wanted to go over is the EIDL. With SNAPs, are you supposed to get the full amount allowed right now, regardless of your income level? Or so SNAP is supposed to do 15% right now. SNAP 15% started in January, so you should have gotten 15% already. If you haven't, reach out to them because there's something wrong. Finally, EIDL. One thing I didn't go over was EIDL. EIDL is available now on SBA.gov for the loan. EIDL loan is very good to get because the EIDL loan, you go to SBA.gov, you fill it out, and you get paid within 24 to 48 hours. You don't have to use it if you don't want it. You can keep it, and after a year, you say, I don't need it after a year. You can give it back and it doesn't cost you anything. It's a wonderful safety blanket to have an extra $5, $10, $15,000 just sitting around in case you need it. And then if you say, I don't need it, then you just give it back. That's SBA.gov. You need to have something like a Schedule C to apply. Someone asked about the $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness. So Chuck and Liz are pushing for it. Joe says no. Joe says he'll only do $10,000. Then the EIDL grant. The remainder of $10,000 EIDL grant is being paid. That is being paid by SBA.gov. So you just go to SBA. You just wait for that email from SBA.gov to get the remainder of that $10,000 grant. They'll be paid in they'll be please respond. New Jersey said not everyone qualifies for UI extension. I don't I don't know anything about that. Alarm clock going off. Yeah. It's about the New Jersey question. SBA.gov, watch for that email. They are sending that email to 2020 applicants who applied for the EIDL grant and ask them, hey, do you want the remainder of $10,000 grant? Of course I do. Why would I not? It's very straightforward. If you did not get the loan, if you don't qualify for the loan, don't worry. You can get the EIDL grant as well. And with that, thank you for a great evening. If there's any other questions, drop them on the screen. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Also, like this video, and I'll give you a big update to where we are tonight. The big update is that the third stimulus package bill will be called for a vote next week. We have that confirmation. The bill, we will see it on Tuesday. I will get it to you as soon as I got it. Number 3, there is renting utilities available everywhere across the country, from state to city, across the country. The great news is that you can get that rent. Reach out to your city housing authority, city hall, county housing authority, county hall, state housing authority, state housing authority. If you're having problems and you did that, and you also reach out to the nonprofits like United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, and that's not helping for some reason, reach out to the volunteers. I want you to get money right now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now, but right now. The link to the community page is at the top of this chat, news.la.com/community. It's also in the description of this video. Stay informed, stay focused. Next up is overnights hazard pay at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Tisha, for the super chat right at the very end. As always, stay informed, stay focused, keep on smiling, and stay alive for more.